Hola, me llamo Señora Loera, tu maestra de español. Hello, in this video we're going to talk about numeros, numbers. I'm sure you already know numbers from 1 to 10. If we say them over and over, we already know how to say them. But I'm going to teach you how to say bigger numbers having that root from 1 to 10. So let's get into it. Let's just repeat numbers from 1 to 10. And again, keep in mind on how we say every letter to sound it out and sound a little bit more Spanish normally. See. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4. That CU sound makes a Q sound. 4. Like you're saying a Q. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those are our base numbers. I recommend you know them, not just in order, but because we're going to use them to say whatever other number you want. Again, the base numbers, and then from there move on. From 11 to 15, they don't follow a pattern. So we're just going to have to learn how to say every number. And we'll start with 11. It kind of sounds like ones. I mean, it's read as ones, but it doesn't sound as ones. It is 11. 12, 13, 14, 15. Again, this QU, 15. So after the 15, we start 16. And from there on, we have a root. We kind of say like in English, 10 and 6. So I'm going to write down from 16 to 19. And then from 20 on, you'll start getting a little bit the pattern to it. So imagine we have 10, and then we have 6. This is like saying 10, 6. So to put it together, we're going to do something to the root. We're going to say 10 y. This means like 10 and 6. This is saying 10 and 6. 10 y 6. So we get the 10 and we get the 6 that we have right here. Let's try with 17. 17. Kind of the same thing. 18. 19. So I'm sure you already found the pattern we're using. From there on, we count by tenths. And as long as we know how to say the root of the 10, we kind of say the same thing. 20 and 1, 20 and 2, 20 and 3. So let's get to it. Starting from 20. 20 is 20. 20. That is 20. So if I want to say 21, we say 20. And we kind of do something to the E. We change it to an I. 21. Let's see if we can say the other ones. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27, 28, 29, and then to say 30, we say 30. And we follow the same pattern again. We have 30, which is not going to be our base, and then we add 1. We say 31. That is 31. 31. 32. 32. And we can move from there on all the way to 39. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. And again, we go to the tens. So I'll write down by tens after 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and we'll go all the way to 100. Let's do it. 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60. And it sounds kind of the same, but they're different. The other one is 70. It's on 2 T's. 70. For 80, 80, 90, 90, and then we'll have 100. 100 is 100. From 40 to 90, we do the same pattern. Let's say number 44. 44. So we have 40 as the base and 4. For 60, let's do 65. 65. Have the base, 60 and 5. Let's do one for 90. Let's say 99. 99. We have the base, and then we say the other number after it. For 100, we only use 100 when we're talking about the number 100. When we want to say 101, we change it a little bit again, and we say 101. And after that, we're going to use this same base. 102, 103, 104. Let's try it with numbers a little bit bigger. Let's do 130. So we have our base that is 100, 100, and then how do we say 30? 130. You see how we use the numbers, the base numbers from 1 to 10, and then from there, we need to count by tens. And then we can do bigger numbers. Let's do 326. So instead of 100, we say 300. 300. We put the S because 100 is 100. Cientos is more, and we're making it plural. So we say 300. We go to 20. 26. So we're using all our base. 300, which is 300. 26. 6. So let's go over the tens, and then we can do numbers a little bit bigger. So let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's 100. So let me grab another paper. And just as in Spanish, we have a lot of rule breakers. We have another rule breaker for when we're talking about 500. So we have, and I already explained, 300, 400, which is the same. It comes from 4, so 400, 400. But with 5, we have, instead of say 500, we say 500 with a Q. 500. That's our first rule breaker of the bigger numbers. Then we have 600, which is 600. Then we have 700. Instead of 700, we have sete. It comes from a Latin root.
700.
800, the same word, ocho. And our last rule breaker that does not follow the exact same root is 900. Not nueve, where it comes from the word 9, but 900. Again, Latin root. So, 500, 700, and 900 are the three rule breakers. So now, after 900, we have thousands. Again, it comes from a Latin root, which is mil. So 1,000 is mil. We can do the same things for 8,000, 8,000. 3,000, 3,000. Just the mil means thousand. So let's do a bigger number now. Let's do 3,841. So from the 3,000, which is 1,000. 800, 3,800. We have the 40, 40, and 1, 41. So let's say the whole number again. 3,841. Now let's go to when we're talking about years. For example, this happens for example to 1998. So we have again 1,000, 900, 998. 90 and 8. 98. It's easier when we learn the blocks, the roots, and then we can just mix the numbers together. 1998. When they're talking about dates, specifically, like I was born in 1985, we normally say 85. We don't say 1985, we just say 85, like referring to a date. And let's talk now about a million. Un millón. Millón. That's a million. When we're talking about more, just as we said on the 500 and the 100, that we add an S, we say, for example, 2 million, 2 millones. And millones does not have an accent mark. The only word that has an accent mark is millón. And we put the emphasis on that O. Millón. Millones. So let's do a bigger number. Okay. So let's start with the first part. 368,215. Do you see how we're using all the numbers together? Let's do another example. So let's start again. 700, 704,000, 175. Just putting it all together. 704,000. We don't have anything on the tens. 175. I hope this video really helps you with putting numbers together. They can sound they can be very intimidating. But as long as we have our numbers, and you can pause this video to write down the roots and then play around with a little bit of the numbers. Just remember, we always have our toolbox to how to say certain letters or sound out certain letters. And from there, you will sound more Hispanic. This was the numbers. Y yo soy Señora Loera. It was great having you here. Adios.